Hello, we're Rob and Aliss Cresswell, and we wanted to share our latest Spirit Lifestyle highlights with you.
We launched our online portal at spiritlifestyle.com last month, and every day we have new subscribers joining our community on there to be activated in the things of the Spirit.
Yeah, we love reading the posts on our community page of how our subscribers are stepping out in faith and expecting miracles.
And we're so pleased to see people praying for each other on there, and now also sharing prophetic words too, sharing God's love and plans for people. It's so good to be able to practice hearing God's voice for each other while encouraging others.
That's right. Now, there is a monthly fee for membership, but the feedback we've had is that it's great value for the video training, community and streaming services that you get included in the package. We really appreciate the value our members put on being part of what is really like a ministry training school.
But now we're excited to tell you that you can try the portal for free because we're giving every new subscriber 7 days of unlimited access to our whole portal without any charge at all. Now on the portal you'll see a whole collection of videos catalogued in series such as Healing, Engaging with Heaven and our live streamed events too.
This month sees the addition of a brand new series, Interviews with Aliss.
Now I love interviewing people who have remarkable stories or are seeing God move in powerful ways. It's really good to glean insights from others that can help us in our spiritual walk. I'm so hungry for more of God, and I'm sure that you are too.
So we travelled to LA where Aliss interviewed the modern day prophet Shawn Bolz. And that interview in full has just been added to the video library on our portal.
Now to watch the whole interview, you'll need to go to spiritlifestyle.com where you can subscribe free of charge for 7 days access.
Here's a preview of Aliss interviewing Shawn.
I'm Aliss Cresswell and today I'm with Shawn Bolz. I'm here in LA.
Yes, you
in
came
California.
to my land.
I know, and this is the very first time that we've been in California
That's awesome.
for my whole life. So yeah, we're really excited to be here.
Well, it's God's other promised land. We
Yeah,
have the second
is
biggest population of Jewish people here.
Oh really?
And so that means that this is the other Holy Land.
Wow, I didn't know that. So now the first time I saw you, you were on stage at Morning Star and you were getting words of knowledge, like supernatural knowledge about people in the audience like I'd never seen before. And I remember there was a couple that we know a little bit and you didn't know them, but you just said from the front, does this date mean anything to anybody? And it was just a date that you said, and it was actually their wedding anniversary.
Nice.
I think they just had their 30th anniversary and it was for them. And you said stand up, so they stood up. And then you said, have you got 5 kids? And they're like, yeah. And you said, I'm getting the names, and you just reeled off these 5 names, which were their kids' names. And you didn't know them. And I've seen you do that kind of thing many times since, like people's bank details, and phone numbers or whatever, different anniversaries.
Thank God I'm not corrupt.
Yes, well that's good. You could use that for different purposes, couldn't you? But, and that's an incredible gift that you have. And one question I want to ask is, how is that different from what mediums do?
That's a great question. I think my grandpa, who I was never around except for one time, was a medium psychic, and he and his wife were both. It was my step-grandma. And because of their choice, we actually stayed away from it because they actually had a really hard life. And we loved them, but from a distance. And in watching them, the few conversations I had with them were really about source. My source is only connection to God through Jesus Christ, and I believe in what he did on the cross, and I believe in what that means, that he actually paid a price as the Son of God to restore us to a real connection with God. And so my whole thing is my source is only God, and it's really to make him known. And it's not for any other purposes. There's no financial transactions in it. There's no other kinds of it's not transactional relationship with people to prophesy.
Because very often mediums do that. They get paid for what they do, don't they?
Yeah, and I understand they're doing it out of a place where they're saying, I have a gift and I should be honored for my gift. But once you start to come into, like, actually, this isn't just a gift-based thing when you're in relationship to God, not all kinds of gods, but the one God. When you're in relationship to Him, if you call Him your source, then it's no longer transactional, and it's all about really knowing Him in the way that He wanted to be known in the first place and revealing that to people. And it comes out of people seeking you out for their need, and it comes into God showing people who they are to Him. And it's very different. Like, one is, I'm going to pull out of your gifting what I need from it. The other one is like, I'm actually accessing who God is through you because you're a child of God and I'm a child of God. And it's actually making me walk away with more, and you're growing too. Yeah. So I grow when this happens through me.
And when I've seen you do that, it's not just that you're getting people's information just to say, look what I can do.
Yeah.
You're actually, that's just a way that you pinpoint people and let them know that God is real, and then you just unpack stuff and you're sharing God's heart with them.
Yeah.
So
it's a very miraculous moment, right? Because all of a sudden, people who don't know how you know what's under their bed, or they don't know how you know the last thing their grandma ever said to them or whatever, and you say it to them and they're like, God is real and He loves me. He's so real. And that means all the things that are unresolved in my life He cares about. And that's the big thing, is that people all of a sudden come into a place of real faith for who God is and what His limitless possibilities for their life is. There's a scripture I love in Ephesians 3:20. It says, God can do beyond what you hope or imagine in your wildest dreams. And I think when you're connected to Him, you start to have that anticipation. But when He's not your source, you may still discern spiritual information, but you can't resolve the supernatural issues. You can't push things forward. Like, God has an agenda, and your agenda and God's agenda isn't the same until you get to know Him.
Yeah, that's true. Now, did something happen when you were young? Was there a significant time where you realised that you had this gift, or something that kind of shaped your future? Can you tell us about that?
When I was young, I think I got real hungry because I saw a lot of people were emerging in, types of gifting, and I was reading the Bible. 1/3 of the Bible is about prophets and prophecy. So I was reading that, just going, I'm 15 years old looking through this. And I had a God encounter at a youth camp, kids camp. And my eyes opened, my spiritual eyes opened in a major way, and I started to see probably a lot of bad stuff first. It took me a while before I had connection in my relationship with God to filter what I was seeing.
So you actually you look at somebody and you would just know something about them that wasn't so good?
I would know where the pain was in their life. I knew the unresolved issues in their life. I could see demonic stuff. I could see bad stuff, bad spirits. And I couldn't see as much good at first. It took a while to really get to know God. And I for me, like a lot of people, they live in that realm. I call it the discernment. Like they live in the realm of discerning what's good and bad. And I was like, God, this isn't enough for me. I want to have a conversation with you. 1 Corinthians 2 says that the Holy Spirit searches the depths, the deep thoughts of God, and reveals them to us. So I was like, I like that I'm open, but these are conversation starters to me. So I pressed in and went on a journey to where, most of my stuff was very parabolic, very story. It wasn't very practical. It couldn't help people to move forward. Even when I saw things like, we were sitting down next to this girl at 16 years old at the bus stop, and I look at her and I could see she had been molested recently. Wow. She was a foster kid, and by this man who had taken her in.
So can I just ask, was that, you just saw it in the spirit somehow? Did you?
I think it was more of a knowing. Like sometimes you get those internally, you just know something that's outside of you, but it's inside of you.
I get that more.
I think that's how most people get revelation, is that it comes, especially Christians, it comes from within you, because the Holy Spirit lives within you. But God wants to show us He wants to be with us. He wants to be one with us. So I see her and I'm like, I didn't know how to bring it up, and I didn't know if I was supposed to bring it up, but I just felt the pain of it. So I just said, how are you doing? She's like, I didn't know her at all. And she said, I'm not good. And I said, yeah, how are you suffering at home? And I didn't have to tell her. She just brings it all up. I'm praying for her, get her involved with the counselor at school, because I was good friends with her at this time, because I had so many of these encounters. And he was a Christian, so he believed in me. He didn't know about this gift, but he believed in me, and I would bring people to him and he would help resolve their issues. So he became a glorified social worker for people like this. And she just went through this life transformation, but it started there. It was like God caught this offensive thing that was going to repeat itself, because I sat down next to her at a bus stop and cared. Just opened my heart to love,
Yeah, that's so good, isn't it? And it just shows as well, you've got to be careful the way that you actually approach people and how you bring things up, because you can offend people by just saying something. Have you ever done that?
There's no self-awareness at all in humanity. It's so funny. Like, do you ever watch those people at customer service and they're just jerks? And you're like, you could have got what you needed without having the attitude and the weirdness, And so I look at this like gifting, like if you're believing for the supernatural, you have to grow your capacity of love and care and self-awareness for how the world is affected by you.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go after stewarding this kind of thing, you have to go after, like, I want people to have a good feeling about God and a good feeling about my interaction with them, because I'm a representative of God. So I've gone through a lot of just, kind of self-help psychology stuff as far as how do I make myself more relevant? How do I make myself more connected? And I don't think a lot of people do. A lot of people are born with a gift, or they're born with a connection to God, and they've just known God their whole life, but they have no awareness the damage they're doing by sharing things without any connection to the person. Real connection to God. It's just a gift. It's not even God himself.
Yeah. And the Apostle Paul says, doesn't he, that what is the gift of prophecy, without love as well. That's what it's about, really, isn't it? It's showing people, that God loves them. Now, what I love about Shawn is the way the Lord shows him such accurate details about people's lives, even down to significant dates like their birthday, the names of their children, and even their bank details.
Amazing.
Yet, he's such a down-to-earth guy.
Yes, he is. And it helps us know that God cares about every aspect of our lives. And Shawn demonstrates this and inspires us to go after words of knowledge and prophecy for ourselves.
Now, we've enjoyed doing the regular live Q&A sessions on our portal as well. The next one will be the 12th of December. It's the same day as the UK election.
It's a good way to remember the date. And you can catch up too if you can't make that broadcast.
Yeah. Now, it's been great getting to know our online community and helping answer the real questions that people have about living supernaturally in everyday life.
So we all know the challenges of walking in faith and connecting with other like-minded people can encourage us to go after the things of the Spirit.
Yeah.
Part of the reason for setting up our Spirit Lifestyle portal is to provide that mentoring and encouragement we all need.
And what's great is that it's not about us, ourselves knowing all the answers and praying for people, but through the community page, everyone gets to have a go.
So if you want to find out what it's all about, go to spiritlifestyle.com and subscribe. You won't pay anything for the first 7 days, and you can cancel at any time.
We simply want to help you in your pursuit of God, to walk on the path of life that He's planned for you and activate you in the things of the Spirit. Now, you can be a part of the online community as much or as little as you like.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, goodbye for now.